And on December 13, 1941, Germany launched Operation Sea Lion, a sudden full-scale invasion of the United Kingdom. German forces crossed the Channel and hit Britain from multiple points. British defences were tested to the limit. Within weeks, London fell, there's Oxford, and Bristol were occupied. Only a few areas, like Birmingham and parts of Wales, held out longer. Civilian life was shattered as cities burned and people fled. American and Allied forces began to arrive, buying time and hope for a counterattack. This early shock exposed how vulnerable the Isles had become. Fearing Nazi expansion, Ireland abandoned neutrality in early 1942 and joined the Allies. Irish forces mobilized quickly to defend the Isles. They coordinated closely with British and American troops. Coordinated campaigns focused on liberating occupied cities. Irish units played a pivotal role in retaking London from German control. The liberation restored morale across the Isles. Their contribution forged a stronger bond with the United States and Britain. Ireland's entry changed the course of the conflict in the British Isles. Through 1942 and 1943, combined forces pushed German troops out of key cities. Bristol, London and other cities were reclaimed after fierce fighting. There were brutal stalemates and grinding attrition along key fronts. Casualties were high, but pressure never eased. Then on June 6, 1944, D-Day opened a decisive Western front. The tide turned as German forces were gradually expelled. On May 8, 1945, the European war ended, victory celebrated in Britain, Ireland and the United States. American and Irish soldiers were hailed as heroes by the British public. Victory left Britain victorious but devastated. Cities and industries in ruin. Rationing and acute shortages persisted for years. Britain relied heavily on American and Irish loans and investment to rebuild. Companies from the US and Ireland moved in to restore services and industry. Roughly 500,000 Americans relocated to Britain and Ireland, accelerating cultural change. American media and corporations reshaped everyday life. By the early 1950s, economies were deeply intertwined and public sentiment shifted pro-American. Reconstruction bound the nations closer together. Post-war modernization transformed Ireland's economy and outlook. A strong Irish-American diaspora kept ties vibrant. In 1961, a referendum asked whether Ireland should join the United States. Campaigns emphasized shared values and economic opportunity. A landslide, 99% approved the measure. Ireland officially became part of the United States in 1962. Governance, institutions and culture began integrating into the US system. A new chapter opened for Ireland within the American Union. Political upheaval and scandals in Britain destabilized traditional parties. The pro-American Union Party won sweeping support in 1959. A referendum held in 1961 asked whether Britain should join the United States. The result was close. 59.97% voted in favour. By 1963, the United Kingdom transitioned into the United States as 5 new states. England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales and Greater London were admitted as states. British overseas territories were redesignated as US territories, completing the political union. A geopolitical transformation reshaped the Atlantic world. Former British and Irish armed forces were absorbed into the US military and National Guard. Units trained and served under a unified command. Everyday culture blended Anglo-Irish traditions with American media and education. Media, schools and festivals reflected a new hybrid identity. Economically and politically, the Isles became fully integrated within American systems. Local leaders took seats in American institutions. Governance realigned around US frameworks. Out of war and Reconstruction emerged a unique Anglo-Irish-American culture, a transatlantic union forged in conflict and rebuilt through cooperation.